Good morning and welcome to our lesson today where we I would want us to discuss about leadership. Remember, in customer care, it is very important for you to be able to know the responsibilities of a good leader. Why is this important? It is important because you could also be tasked with a different responsibility that might require you to exhibit certain leadership skills. Therefore, this lesson is very important to us as customer service. Okay? So before we go there, we will need to know or we will need to define what is leadership. When you hear people talking about leadership, what are they trying to say? Yeah, a leader is somebody who has some level of influence on other people. Okay, somebody who is able to persuade or to convince other people so that they are able to achieve certain goals. Therefore, leadership is the ability to persuade others with an objective of obtaining certain goals. Okay? It is a means of direction. When you're a leader, you are directing. Therefore, leadership is very, very important to us. It is a process, yeah. We have different definition of leadership where we say it is the process of influencing group activities towards achievement of goals in a given situation. So we are trying to look at it in terms of what is it that a leader does. So a leader is able to persuade, is able to convince, is able to direct. Yeah. So those are some of the features of a leader. So we're going to look into features of a good leader. So we say leadership cannot function in isolation, and it can be ordered, and it cannot be ordered, it must be learned. Yeah, so one of the functions or one of the features of leadership is that it is learned. It is not forced. It is learned. We also say leadership is another feature of leadership is a functional relationship. When we talk about functional relationship, we are trying to say that we need to have a relationship between a leader and the people whom he is leading. So they have to go hand in hand. Then we also talk about another feature where we say leadership is situational. So situational in the sense that you need to influence relationship exercised in a situation and in abstract. So leadership cannot be the same. The way you handle as a leader, the way you handle this situation, yeah, would not necessarily be the same way you'd handle the same situation in a different scenario. We also say that another feature of leadership is communication of interest. Yeah, so we need to have a proper communication between a leader and his followers. Otherwise, when you cannot lead if you cannot communicate. Okay, so what are some of the characteristics of leadership? We say leadership is a personal quality, yeah, which gives somebody the ability to induce subordinates or followers to work with confidence and zeal. So when we talk about leadership, we're saying it is a personal quality within an individual. We also say another characteristic of leadership is that it's the willingness, it's the essence of leadership is followers. Yeah, therefore, it is the willingness of people to follow that makes a person a leader. You can only become a leader if you have a following. Okay, then we say leadership involves a community of interest between the leader and his followers. So they must have a common interest. What are some of the objectives? Yeah, then we also say leadership is a reciprocal relationship. It is a relationship that is not influenced, but at the same time is influenced by it. So those are some of the characteristics of a good leader. So I also want us to discuss about the principles or the guidelines. Yeah, these guidelines will make it possible for any leader to be able to direct his followers well. These are guidelines. Yeah, what are some of these guidelines? According to somebody called Contis and Donnell, it says one principle of leadership is the principle of harmony. Yeah, harmony means what? Being able to work together. Yeah, so the harmony of the objective must be followed by a proper leader. They see that they have understood their personal goals in the organization to maintain harmony of the objectives of the enterprise. Another principle is the principle of motivation. So when we talk about motivation, we say it is the manager's responsibility to ensure that the people whom he is directing are motivated. Yeah, how do you motivate your followers? By giving them rewards. Yeah, recognizing them. Yeah, when they've made an achievement or when they have attained something that you feel is valuable, you reward them. Yeah, so another principle is the principle of supplements, use of informal organization. We say the manager should make use of proper communication with his subordinates. So another principle is the use of informal organization. We also have the principle of maximum clarity in an organization. You cannot lead if you're not able to communicate. We also have another principle which we call the principle of leadership. So where we say manager will act as an effective leader when he knows correctly the motivating factor and application to it. So why is it important to have good leadership? So good leadership serves as a motive to group efforts. We also say leadership is an important authority. A manager can exercise authority in managing their members. We also say leadership provides a basis for cooperation in several ways. Another important is that leadership, well, when you have a good leadership, there's emphasis on human performance because people are able to do their best because they have somebody who is directing them. Okay, so we've got different theories of leadership. Yeah, some of this theory, we've got the theory of great man theory of leadership, where we say this happened in the past, and this particular principle talks about the inborn quality. Yeah, when we talk about the inborn quality, we're trying to say there are those leaders who are born leaders and they are not made. Okay, so we have that common word that we say leaders are born or sometimes inherited in family from generation to generation. Okay, then we've got another theory which we call the trait theory. The trait theory is a traditional theory of leadership. So according to this one, so somebody having leadership skills and characteristic is accepted as a successful leader because he has certain qualities. Yeah, how they behave makes them become leaders. So we have people who say somebody is dominant, cheerful, etc. Then we have another theory which we call the situational theory. So where we say leadership is a product of a situation in a particular group. So it is assumed that the trait and the skills are characteristics of a good leader. So these skills change group to group and from situation to situation. However, this kind of theory has got its own limitation or disadvantages, where we say sometimes the situation theory gives so much emphasis on situational aspects and it overlooks the qualities that are needed to have a successful leader. Then we've got the behavioral theory, where we say this particular is based on simple philosophy and it is the best study of leadership which does not dwell on the trait or qualities, but rather it focuses on the behavior. How does this leader behave? Okay, then we also have another theory which we call the followers theory. This is called the, or rather known as the acceptance theory. So we say followers accept their leaders and his leadership. So this theory believes that leadership is developed on the basis of acceptance from followers. Then we've got the managerial grid theory, which was developed by somebody called Robert Blake. And it's a graph that shows a combination of both managerial styles and orientation or behaviors on a two-dimensional aspect. Okay, so these particular theories are very important and it is good for you to be able to understand them. Then we've got the path goal theory, which was developed by somebody called Martin Evans, and this one relates to situation expectancy theories of motivation. So this theory talks about relationship between the behavior of a leader and the motivation. So we've got four types of leaders behaviors which are made by by certain leadership. Okay, so this particular topic was meant to help you to be able to understand what a good leader is, what are some of the characteristics, why is it important to have good leadership. Okay, so I hope that is very clear and I'll see you in the next lesson where I will talk about the trade union. Otherwise, I wish you